Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Conversations Live here at Max WYED 94.1 FM, WYEDonline.com, as well as Cyrus Webb Presents. So excited about this next segment. We're welcoming Star Jones to our broadcast. You guys know her as an attorney. She's an award-winning author, award-winning television personality, and recently launched Star Jones Beauty as well. But Star is also known for something else. She's a longtime women's heart health advocate. In fact, she's going to talk to us not only about her own heart health journey, but also why she's teamed up with Medtronic to talk about their Letter to My Mother campaign that really encourages women to share their own heart health history with one another. Ms. Jones, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Absolutely. As you pointed out, with all the things that I do in my professional career, my purpose in life, quite frankly, is to advocate for women and our own health. I believe very strongly that women have to put our own health on the front burner of conversations. And this has been my mission and my purpose in life for the last 15 years, because, as you pointed out, a very personal journey myself.
Yeah. And Ms. Jones, I want to start with that because you do have such a public platform.
Mhm.
Has that been one of the joys for you to see how many people not only you're able to reach, but also to think about their own heart health and share that information?
Absolutely. I mean, it started way back when I decided to get a handle on my own health and my own weight 20 years ago. I started to focus on eating better, getting exercise, and I lost a tremendous amount of weight. But for some reason, I was still having some weird symptoms that did not seem well. It didn't sit well with me. And so about 15 years ago, I addressed those symptoms. I'm talking shortness of breath, lightheadedness, kind of dizzy when I would go from seated to standing, intense heart palpitations. That just didn't seem right. I had lost the weight. I was doing all the things I was supposed to. So I went in to see my cardiologist. I did something that I have encouraged women to do: listen to your body.
Yeah.
So, in going in to see my cardiologist, I discovered that I was in severe heart failure because of uh, an aortic valve malfunction.
Mm.
And I needed open heart surgery. Now, mind you, you didn't hear me say I had a heart attack. I
Yeah.
actually walked into the doctor's office that day in high heels and leather jeans. I looked fine, no problem. But that's how heart disease can manifest itself sometime. So every heart disease doesn't look the same. And I'm here to say, and I have for the last 15 years as an advocate for women's heart health, and pretty much the face of heart disease in America, been talking about the fact that we need to assess our risk. And I was so proud when Medtronic came to me this year to partner and lead the Letters to My Mother campaign. It really and truly is a brilliant way to start a conversation that we all have to have on assessing our risk, finding out our own health history from our families, so that we can be forewarned and forearmed when it comes to our own heart health.
And Ms. Jones, I saw in the statement that Medtronic released, there was a quote in there from you that you said that if you had had those conversations,
Yes.
that's something that you could have looked at earlier. Is it also part of what Medtronic's hopes with this Letter to My Mother campaign do in starting those conversations that are not always had, especially among
Mhm.
women when it comes to heart health?
100%. Let me tell you, give you some numbers, because Star Jones likes the facts. 60 million women in America have some form of heart disease, and they're living with it right now. Yet, Medtronic did a survey recently, and it says that 45% of those women, less than half, have ever had a conversation with a family member about their family health history, their family heart health history. Very importantly, things like what kinds of blood pressure medications have you ever had to take? Did anybody in our family ever had a heart attack? Anybody ever been diagnosed with anything having to do with cardiovascular disease? Anybody ever have a stroke? Those are the kinds of conversations that need to be had. And I can tell you, less than that, 33% of people have had this conversation with their doctors in
Yeah.
terms of assessing their risk. So that's what a Letters to My Mother campaign is all about. It's about starting the conversation, finding a connection point that you can start it with. I don't care if it's an email, a letter, a text message, or a social media post to someone, woman that you love. That's the way you start these conversations.
And Ms. Jones, you mentioned something a few times here that I really hope our audience gets, because you mentioned talking to your doctor.
Yes.
Us being able to have those conversations. I know, especially for women, it's sometimes hard for them to put themselves first because they're thinking about so many other people. Is it also part of what you want them to know, the importance of having those conversations with their own medical professional as well?
100%. Go to our website, a letter to my mother.com, because it will give you some resources to start those conversations with your doctor also. A lot of people get intimidated by going in to their doctors and asking those questions. But if you start with one simple question to your doctor, what is my risk for heart disease? That doctor is then going to ask you a bunch of questions that you're going to want to know the answers to. They're going to want to know what has happened in your family previously, what has been their health history, and get those answers. And that starts the conversation. So you're not alone in this. If you go to a letterstomymother.com, you'll get some resources. And guess what? Take the pledge with me. Like I'm doing to you, I'm sharing
Mhm.
with the women that are listening to me. I have pledged to do this in this month of May. Take the pledge with me, and my partners at Medtronic are making a donation to organizations that are supporting and advocating for women's heart health with each pledge. So come on, make the pledges. Let's make them spend some money.
Love that. Star, before we let you go, last question I have for you on a selfish note. Congratulations to you on the launch of Star Jones Beauty. Talk to us about that, how it feels to finally be able to share that with the world.
It's been wonderful. It's a great opportunity. It's come full circle, to be able to do the things that I love. I host divorce court every day and have for the last 4 years. We're in the middle of taping our new season. To be married to the love of my life, to have a child that I only could have dreamed of, who'll be 20 years old next week. And now um, to launch a beauty line after coming full circle that celebrates what it is to be a fabulous woman. And that's what it's about. StarJonesBeauty.com celebrates the fabulousness in all of us, because all a lady needs is a lip and a lash. That'll make her shine like a star. So all of that would not be possible if I didn't put my health on the front
There you
burner.
go.
So
There you
girls, get it together. That is what I am encouraging you to do. This is my letter to my mother.
go. Love it. Star, thank you so much again for the great work you're doing and for spending some time with us. Really appreciate it.